Alright, hey neighbors, how's it going? We are playing as Haesteinn today. Gonna have a lot of fun. He starts as like a feudal Norse lord. So we have all the benefits of being feudal with all the benefits of being Norse, with examples like raiding, adventuring. And we're gonna go really with a martial being our primary focus with this empire, with learning being our secondary on this playthrough. Okay, so main thing is he starts off with one son, and we have him starting off as rowdy, which is really important, so we can mold him to stay in the martial ways. Go in lifestyle. I think the main thing we're going to focus on is chivalry, having the extra advantage, extra prowess. We're already gone down the gallant trade to start off with, and then we're going to finish through the strategist, especially to get sappers, to get sieges done earlier. Also, especially to Hastings, he starts off with whole body. He's been specialized to have this, so it's really, really nice to have. And you get to keep it as long as you don't reset your perks. Really neat stuff here. He starts off with a decent host of military, and you can kind of just go anywhere you want. It's your choice. I want to build a martial empire, kind of taking most of Europe. So kind of just reforming Europe into my own image. And that's going to be the name of the game. And one of the first things I want to do is eventually take Duchy of Neustria so we can become Normans. Because if you're Vikings, so Norse, and you take Neustria, you can get the Norman culture very easily, and it can really increase your power very quickly. Okay, so when can we invade Kingdom? We need Exalted. Alright, he's allied to them. Armored Footmen, Light Horsemen. He's a little bit tougher than me. So we may have to take Brittany first. Just so they have a little more firepower to deal with France. Ooh, we don't really have a lot of champions though, that's the issue. Alright, let's invite some champions over. Hopefully we can get a good one. Let's see here. Don't want to get celibate just yet. We need to see if we have any other kids, because what if our kid dies? Determined personal deity is really good. Devotee of Earl we'll go for first. Because 3 months out of the year we'll have extra martial, extra movement speed, a little bit more advantage. So it's only the 4th of the time, but it's still pretty helpful. I don't really care about the culture, legends, or anything. Gothic Kings, we'll take a look at that one once we establish a kingdom. We don't really have anyone else. Ooh. Our wife's extremely good with martial, so it's going to benefit us even more. We don't have really any quarters at all. Notify we can join grand tournaments. We're going to join tournaments as much as possible. We do want a physician and a wet nurse, and we'll see if we can get a good caravan master. Is there anything else we can do at the moment? Nothing really. Whenever you do like your turn 0 kind of setup, I always recommend saving it. Like for example, I'll type in like Haesteinn setup. Alright, first thing we want to do is take Brittany. Pretty easy to take. Alright, and we get 3x this. We'll get some more champions eventually. France may or may not be called to join, so we'll have to be careful. 25 gold for a caravan master is not bad. Let's buff them up. Ooh, excellent. We are greedy, so this could be some problems. Alright, plus 10% experience gain. He's already really buffed up, so might as well. And he can be a really good tutor to buff up our son. Alright, nothing else we can really do. Let's try and get him ambitious. Second skill. We are going to try. Let's see what champion we got here. Okay, it's better than none. Crap. We weren't able to reach him. Rakish, because it kind of goes along with his playstyle. And we'll start to get more and more knights over time. And then we already have Gallant filled out, so we're really going to have really efficient knights. Have trained commanders always on to buff up our knights and our military personnel. A lot of people just 5x this, but I say take your time, take your time. These sieges are going to take a while because we don't start off with sappers. If we had sappers, it would be extremely quick. But we should be able to go through the martial line very quickly. Especially since we don't have Onagers at all, and we don't get them until later. Dang, I didn't realize how much sappers was really, really good. But we can't use it as a crutch, because this is going incredibly slow. If we had sappers, it would have been done in like half or like a third of the time. Alright, so, and this is time to be patient. A lot of people try to rush it, but this is time to like kind of look around, see what we have available. You'll get notifications once that is complete. I swear didn't we just recruit a caravan master? Yeah, I could have sworn we just recruited him. That seems kind of odd. Did he not stay? That's weird. Make sure to auto filter these so you know when they're vacant. Another champion has arrived. Alright, is he better? By 1, so we're gonna leave it be. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Alright, we have a prisoner. How much is the ransom? Not a good ransom, but we could negotiate a release, because this person would be a good steward teacher. Alright, let's move on. Alright, let them lay siege and see if we can fight this unit over here. Trying to teach us some patience. And plus we're able to move extremely fast. Come on, we should be able to catch up here. Luckily, France is not joining in. Occasionally, they will join in when you first declare war. And look. The war is over with. Alright, that was short and sweet. I'm hoping to get some way better knights. Alright, that gives a lot more legitimacy. 2 above our domain limit. We do want to get a duchy going. We are now a mighty jarl. Station our men. Alright, nothing's being built. What they like to do is quickly take Lyon, since it's just right here. I do recommend also starting a romance scheme with your wife, so you can be a lot closer. Maybe get a couple more kids we can start giving out titles to, and have more kids to make sure the succession is okay. Okay. Always have an excellent master of horse. Ooh, she's an excellent sensual. That's pretty good. I want a better caravan master. It's always good having a good poet, so you can get the little damage buff from right poetry. It's really good pairing against a martial focus. Bodyguards to protect you from schemes and also protects you in combat as well. I don't really need a caravan master just yet. And I kind of wait till I have someone good or higher for positions. Alright, don't need that yet till we're a little bit more established. Same thing with personal champion. I want to have a excellent champion to join me in tournaments. So let's quickly take Lyon. And we only have to raise our men-at-arms. We don't have to raise everything else. Should be a victory. Ah, it is. And saves us some money as well. Didn't we have like 500 gold? Was that duchy that expensive? I guess it was pretty expensive. Oh, I didn't realize we didn't have enough to lay siege. See, this is where I get for being cheap. Plus, I'd rather leave this going so we can get some more knights improved. We can always get money from raiding. I keep finding more people to be better at your counselor positions. Alright, and then we kind of just wait a little bit. Domain's a little high, so we're eventually going to have to give them up so we're not incurring a penalty. But we're going to hold on to them for now. 4 months into that, is there anything else we can really be doing? No actions, nothing. So we're going to 5x this a little bit. Don't forget to study languages. And that's a really easy victory here. Okay, so we've already taken their capital. So we can get these ransoms because we'll still have the 100%. Might as well drag as much gold from them as you can. expand the army. Alright, at this point we need to save. We're at a good foothold, and once we get this duchy fully, like county of Leon and everything, is when you can kind of just choose where you want to go with this adventure. Alright, here we go. Too few concubines. Ooh, there's one with the fecund trait. So I might consider taking that. I normally don't like concubines, but if there's a trait, I'll gladly take it. Okay, so he has multiple alliances. Huge alliance strength. So taking a duchy is going to be extremely difficult. So I'm debating whether we want to go raiding somewhere. Because what's all the alliances he gets? So he's currently at war, dealing in Sicily. Distracted by that. Allied to the Byzantium Empire. Hopefully we don't have to deal with that. So we're going to save. I'm hoping we can rush the duchy. But he has a bunch of counters to our spearmen. Once we can get the duchy, we will be fine. Nustra. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he has a lot of alliances, so we're gonna see. We can always load back if this doesn't work out. But I really want to be Norman. Now if we can get into a couple good fights and maybe steal some of his knights. And Byzantium is joining in. And we can probably bait them to our locations. Alright, we definitely need to watch our domain limit. Not getting a lot of high-skilled people just yet. Ooh, he's really good. And this fight's probably going to be a lot of back and forth. Hopefully he's too busy in Sicily to deal with us, but we got to be extremely careful. We are punching up. So one thing is we may want to do Warhorse Grooming, an extra +3. Advantage when commanding own armies. Let me get these damn cats. Hey, sorry, I had to make sure my cats weren't killing each other. Nice, we have a soulmate. Okay, so that scheme's not going to work really well. She's already the soulmate, so we have to do seduce first. And then I can't really seduce her, so we're going to leave that be. Extra prestige is nice. I keep forgetting we have to do seduce first to get the lover benefit. Alright, leave our concubine be. Alright, sweet. We got another martial perk. What are we going to go with here? Arms counter. Archer extra. Let's get some extra damaging. Because we're definitely going to need it. $18. So we can get up to 18% extra effectiveness, minute arms damage, and toughness. Yes, we can get ambitious on him. That's really good. Really strong. Nice, we're starting to get some more knights. That's why you leave train commanders on. Yes, we're going to be losing money, but we can always make more. Okay, we are going to be a little below our supply limit here. We're going to reduce it down to 2x so we can focus on this war. Once we get living off the land, supply limits are not really going to be a huge issue. But we really wanted to do a start where we had really good knights. Alright, so we have 8 months until that. And they're suffering from supply limit issues as well. So let's move a little bit. We're going to get some supplies as we approach. Can probably get up to 70. It says we have 9 knights. There we go, we get 2 extra more. Back up to 84. And they put themselves in a really bad position, a really good position for us. Remember, we got the extra advantage for our main character. 54 advantage, extremely good. Plus extra knights, extra strong knight effectiveness. Where are we at? 211%. Super strong. That should force that army. Oh, he's not jumping in. That's weird. Maybe we get some prisoners, get some new knights as well. Alright, another army wiped out. Alright, we're going to wipe it out. Yes, another army wiped out. Really good stuff here. So we're going to right click over here and start to take some more. What if you have really good events like that too, or like, hey, I just wiped out their entire army, make sure to save as a pivotal point just in case you have any crashes or save issues. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. We're going to 4x. Alright, Yonder. Ooh, he's stupid. So we need to have an accident happen to this child. Alright, 4x a little bit. It's going to take a little bit longer to lay siege. He might get his army up back then. Alright, let's get some more bodyguards. I'm not sure where he's thinking of doing. A little foolish of him. 5 months. Alright, go down to 2x. Starting to reach some supply issues again. Since that's the case, let's go ahead and start moving the supply train down, because we're just about to take this. Okay, and then our supplies should be good to go by the time we get back down. Making incredible martial experience. I do not want greedy. Greedy, it sounds good, but it gets you in trouble and massively increases your stress levels. Unnecessarily, too. It's good if you're doing like an intrigue martial build where you don't really care about stress. But I care about stress. Alright, supplies are good to go. More glory for us. Okay, let's see the counters here. Haesteinn? Haesteinn? Okay, we're plowing right through their units. Outstanding here. Alright, so we got some prisoners. Let's see what we have available. These ones are wealthy. This guy is a sacrifice. Okay, remember we split off. Oh, hold on. See, we don't want to go that route. We want to recover. So you're going to right-click, shift, right-click again. That way they're going to stay, replenish supplies, replenish men-at-arms as well. Huge champion limit. Make sure we keep feeling that. Ooh, he's now my nemesis. Oh, that's really cool lore-wise. Okay, let's have all these guys here, and then we're just gonna lay siege. And then we only need a little bit laying siege because we don't have siege weapons or anything, so we might as well top off our supply. Hopefully we can get some more knights recruited. And getting better and better counselors. Alright, it's going to take 9 months. That's going to cause attrition, so let's just do that. 8 months. Drops it down a whole month. Alright, levy size is increasing. No enemy forces, so we're going to kind of fast forward it a little bit. Alright, enemy forces coming over here. Let's intercept them. And then during most wars, 2x is my speed, so you can kind of focus. If there's other like horde options happening, you can keep an eye on them as well. Alright, we have another martial perk. Naval speed, envelopment, men-at-arms counter efficiency. Okay, I want to eventually get living off the land as soon as possible so we can start raiding efficiently. Ooh. Alright, so I can kill him. I gain dread, piety. His close members hate me. Hold on, I have him prisoner though. But I can make a lot more gold. I wonder if I can exploit this. Yeah, I'd rather take the 200 gold. That's really efficient. And get all the extra money. I mean, lore-wise, it'd be great just to execute him. But I really want to take advantage of the situation. More money for me. Alright, it's 4x. Alright, no one with any good traits. Well, I'll take a good one. It's also I can also put a champion in here to further increase their skills. Ooh, we have an excellent champion. And then I always just leave this on to increase his prowess and his other skills. I'd rather have sadistic than paranoid. Paranoid really sucks. Alright, we might as well fill the rest here. And we'll abuse the jester to get some more dread. Actually, I don't care about dread. Like, I want these rebellions to happen. We can take advantage of the situation. Alright, the siege is almost over. We might have to do one more. Or not, actually. Alright, attentive care. Let's do Exus, because this might get interesting. Okay, we're at 90%, which we can force it since we have the gallantry. But there's a lot of opportunities to fight here, so we're going to lean into them. Alright, morph these together. And then they're already stuck in their movement, so they're forced to fight us. Causing another hit to the Byzantine Empire as well. Alright, let's evaluate the prisoners we get. If they can offer us money, take it. Look, 100 right there. And then for these guys, hey, it's better than no knights. And then we can enforce demands because it's already at 90%. And stack up our champion him out as much as possible. Yeah, gained a bunch of fame, legitimacy, couple vassals. Alright, and make sure you save as well. Alright, was he building anything interesting? Not really. And then we can establish the Norman culture. Extremely powerful. Let's disband here, please. Alright, further improving our knights. Alright. So this makes us bellicose, so extra prowess is a really good focus on martial, if that's your plan, which it is. Stand and fight makes heavy infantry tougher, heavy cavalry tougher. Focus on the heavy cavalry, because heavy infantry we're not really going to focus on. I'll explain why here in a little bit. Chancel and Degest. Valiant's innovation becomes available in the late medieval. Poetry is additional bonuses. I don't really do poet. I never really understand the use of it. More traits from all of these skills. Martial education traits are valued more. Aspiring Blade Master has additional bonuses. It doesn't show it here, but we will see. Don't want Craven, don't want Content. May challenge rivals in single combat, inflicting stress if you win. So, also, what's also not described here when you initiate single combat against rivals is when you win, you get Foot Haesteinn experience, which is one of the things you need in tournaments. It can also increase the minute-arms regiment size at the final tier of it. Acolyte Glory gain plus 20%, injury resistance, number of knights, legend spread chance. So we have a plus 20 there. Go down here. Plus 20 here. Also, plus 10 here. So we have plus 50 gain for our accolades. So let's go into our accolades. Let's take a look and see what we're going to find here. Tactician's one of the ones I typically like. Alright. Tactician. I always like Skirmisher if they have it, but Tactician's really good. Tactician with a Valiant mix. I mean, the secondary will always get switched out over time, but that primary is important because look at the final one. It's kind of a backbone of a martial playthrough. Alright, 35% more martial experience, 35% minute-arms counter efficiency. So making our minute-arms counter and make us go through the tree faster. The quicker you can go through the minute-arms tree, the quicker you can get to learning to enjoy its benefits. So let's create the accolade. And we'll find a worthy successor. Alright, we're going to give this to a noble of the Norman culture. Probably should give it to one of my sons, but that's okay. I really want to increase the learning. I could have gave it to the dumb one, because it doesn't matter if he loses it. I can usurp the Duchy of Normandy, but I don't want to at the moment. Alright, we are now officially Norman. And we can do a kingdom invasion shortly here. So the end goal is to eventually conquer all of Europe and then move on from there and have like kind of a tall martial power, kind of making everyone pay tribute to us. I'm considering invading Italy. That's not very good. We can save our invade for later when France fully unites, because then that would give us a whole swath of land, so we can save that, possibly. I do want Rome as our capital eventually, but it might piss them off if we go for it. And cutting off East Francia now is a good choice. 2359. There's also a holy site there. But I kind of want to take the Pope out of commission early. And that way, since we're already feudal, we can utilize his really strong duchy. So there's no activities we want to do. Reduce our stress here. That's right, we're going to do. We're probably going to go for Rome. Gotta remove him from the seat of power and make him a lot more weaker. It might also force him to call a crusade, but if he doesn't have Rome, maybe his power is weak. So let's save this. We can always come back to this in case it's a really dumb decision. I think it's a good decision. We'll have to see. So, Haesteinn, pre-Rome war. Alright, let's conquer the duchy. Okay, let's go with one of our champions. Now we'll wait till we get someone better. You know, we're already at 18%, so we're gonna keep that even if we get someone better. 3x this. Alright, I think that's our current limit. And we're gonna focus on coming right outside in case there's any massive armies we have to deal with. And he doesn't have any alliances either. Oh, it became the culture head, so before I forget, we need to pick an innovation. My recommendation is to go for moats. Hopefully that'll be our cultural spread, we'll see, over time. That way we can really develop the duchy of, the Roman duchy over here. It has a different name to it, is it Latium? But I just call it the Duchy of Rome. Okay, we still only have 3 kids. How far are we? Far away, so we're going to 5x this, get us over here. And found a worthy successor. And convoys is what you get when you're Norman. It's a heavy cavalry, so getting heavy cavalry at 867 is extremely powerful. They're expensive though, but they counter archers and light cavalry, so they're going to replace our Bondi. Really good in dry lands, farmlands, plains. Just got to avoid the mountains and hills, so really got to focus on that cavalry. Mix them well with some light horsemen as well. I think they got more pursuit, don't they? Light horsemen got better pursuit, so mix them together. And then since we're going to be going up against Catholics and Muslim countries a lot, they have lots of heavy infantry, so pair them with skirmishers as well. Alright, we're pulling up on Rome. Alright, there's the enemy force. They do look really tough. I don't want to go into wetlands because that really sucks, so let's go on the outer edge here. Draw them to us. We also have an 18% bonus to everything. Toughness, damage. Alright, can we win this fight? Please tell me we can win this. We can! Sweet. Alright, pull them away from Rome. The main thing saving us is the massive advantage we have. Ooh, he's a berserker now. And the Norse are just, their culture is and religion is just incredibly powerful. Let's see you easily beat back the Pope's forces. Alright, let's lay siege over here. Alright, light horsemen and conroys. There's some things we want to recruit. We'll eventually get rid of the Bondi. And then we'll have onagers and light footmen. That's going to be our kind of our mix-up. The reason I'm going with the light horsemen is getting that really good pursuit so we can really mow down units armies when we're fighting them. So we only really need one stack of light horsemen. And then need onagers and light footmen. So we're going to completely replace our army. Definitely no onagers with how long these sieges take. I'll just stick on 3x. Alright, so what if we hit the early battle? So early battle phase, if we can defeat them. Okay, we went to aftermath phase. And if we had more horsemen, we would get a lot more kills, making further battles easier to fight. So it's always important to have at least one stack of horsemen for that pursuit. And we gotta make sure to avoid hills. Alright, he's learned German. What else can he learn? Brythonic. And it also helps that a lot of the Rome buildings also benefit going the horseman route. Easy. Alright, we're gonna have some peasant rabble to deal with. If we can ransom them, we ransom them. Wait till he gets the full amount. He's not really good, but it's better than nothing. Until we can fill our cap. Alright, let's rush this siege real quick. We don't have a lot of courtly stuff going, so not a lot of stuff we have to wait around for. And there you go, just like that. We have taken Rome. What they call a crusade, we'll have to see. Let's go ahead and save. That was really good. And this is going to be our new seat of power, and we kind of just go from there.